Good morning, everyone. Cheryl Ann here with a tutorial about how I make my patchwork journals. Here's the current one I'm working on. This one is pretty much done, except I want to do some stamping inside, and I have to sew in the signature. These are one signature journals. They don't have two or three. So the first thing I do is I decide what color, what theme I want to use. I have several of these baskets. I try to buy baskets when they're on sale at either Michael's or Hobby Lobby. I probably have 7 or 8 of these in different themes and colors, and but this is the most recent one I've been using. So then I decide, okay, what color, what fabric do I want? This next one is going to be a country one. Look at this gorgeous sunflower. Oh my goodness. I'm heading over to Hobby Lobby after this to see what fabric they have in. See, it's got chickens. I love chickens. I could actually have them here as long as they're 100 feet away from the nearest house. And we have a pretty big lot, so we had them when the kids were little. And our collies used to chase them all over the yard and pull out their feathers. So this will be the next one. So I have my fabric. I have it all pulled out. Okay, so the first thing I do is I make a template. Now this one is 8 by 8. I really love this size. Not all my patchwork journals are this size. I have 2 that are smaller, and I think I have 3 that are this size. But for me, I love this size. Now, the only problem with it is since it's 16 inches wide, you're going to have to splice together or tape together or sew together your papers to fit it, because normal size is 8.5 by 11, and that's not wide enough. So I don't mind doing that. So what I do is I lay this down on my canvas or duck cloth or heavy muslin. Like this is a duck cloth. And this is my last piece of this before I head over to Hobby Lobby. Shh, don't tell hubby. And I like this. I like this weight for the cover because it is fairly strong. And then I pick out a shopping bag, and we still have the paper bags here in our town. Only a couple stores though. Walmart, no, they're just plastics. But Whole Foods and Gelson's and I'm not sure what other ones. I know they still have, oh, Trader Joe's. They still have paper bags, and if you want to buy them, they're 10 cents each, so you can get 10 for $1. So then I use my template, and I cut the canvas, I cut the paper bag, and then I cut my muslin that's going to go on the inside. So I have all 3 cut already. Okay, and this is what I do. And, you know, it doesn't have to be a paper bag. It could be scrapbook paper, cardstock. It could, honestly, you probably don't need anything. This would work well without anything. I just like the extra support. So I like to have a little something extra. Okay, so the first thing I do after I've trimmed my cover, my padding, and my muslin is I start gluing stuff down, and I use the Scotch Create glue stick. It does a fantastic job, because remember, I'm gonna sew over this. So, and these, I just grab some pieces. I use smaller pieces. Like I might use half of that. I certainly wouldn't use anything that big, but I don't have any small ones in my basket. So I usually start at one corner and I kind of go across and then down and across and down and across and down. So like this one, this piece here would be perfect. See, and I try to cut them at a little angle. So I'm going to put that one, I could put that one there, and then I overlap them just a little bit. Okay, and then I glue them all down. So this entire piece of duck cloth is covered, and then I let it sit overnight because I'm going to glue. After I glue it, I'm going to sew over them. So I don't want wet glue. Okay, so here's an example. This one is done, and I've sewn. I try to get thread that doesn't match, but that is kind of goes with it. So you can see, and I like to use a zigzag. I don't sew along the edge. I don't do that right away. That's for later. So here's the back. So you can see I've just got odd pieces, odd shapes. I mean, these are scraps. So after the glue has dried, the next morning when I wake up at 4, I start sewing this down. Now I'm just sewing this. I'm sewing these onto the canvas. I'm not sewing it onto anything else. And I do that because if you sew it onto your paper bag, you're gonna have those stitches. Those stitches are gonna, you're gonna have bumps. And I don't like, I may not like straight lines, but I don't like bumps. So I sew it. This is what I do. I'm not saying it's the right way. This is how I do it. I glue the scraps onto my top piece, my cover. I let it dry overnight, and then the next morning I start zigzag stitching it just onto that one, just that one. Then after I'm done with that, then I glue it onto the shopping bag. I let it sit for another day, and then you don't have those bumpy stitches. And then finally I go around the edges, because now I've got 2 pieces of fabric and a shopping bag to tack down. So that's when I stitch around the edges. And if you want to put a pocket, if you want to make yours with a pocket, I would suggest you do that before you do your stitching too, because I like to have a back pocket and a front pocket. Okay, like here's an example. This is a front pocket and a little bit of lace sticking down. So also do that before you finish. See, this is my front pocket. I'll show you the back one. This one's done. And that's the back pocket. I did put a little bit of lace sticking out. And I like to put things in the pockets. So, and I use a white bobbin. I actually forgot to do that in order. And so I did stitch. You could see you can barely see it, the white bobbin. Still trying to get organized 169 journals later. Okay, here's the stitching. There's the stitching on this one. See, if you wait until everything is in place, your 3 layers, and then go around the edges, then you can catch the bottom of this and the side. And then I did have to stitch down here, but I use my white bobbin, and you can't even see it. See, this is the one I have to finish today. And again, I did that here. So I stitched here and here. And then with a white bobbin, I went over that. So you really don't see it, but I love my raggedy pockets. So anyway, I think that pretty much covers it. This one I have to go through and I have to add some light stamping. I have a little bit here, and I've started gluing on a little bit of lace, and I've got some pockets here. That's a really nice big pocket there. So I wanna finish this up today. And yeah, if you do 8x8 or a different size, you're gonna have to splice your papers together. So this, I put Scotch tape over it, and then I glued the fabric, and I'm thinking about just doing a zigzag stitch down the middle. But this is really sturdy now, and then with the pocket on the back, it's fine. So like I said, these are single signature, and each one has about 10, 11, or 12 sheets of paper. See, this is your standard 8.5 by 11. So you can see that's not big enough. So that's why you have to extend your papers. I do have some 11 by 17. I have one in here. Yeah, this one is 11 by 17, and that fits really well. And I did coffee dye that one, but I have to coffee dye some more. That's the only one I had. So if you have any questions, if I haven't answered anything, leave your questions below. If you want to see the ones I've completed, because I think I have 5 completed now, 4 or 5. They're in my Etsy shop, Deserts and Beyond, so come take a look. Until next time, bye for now.